Fraggle Rock, back to the rock. That's right, folks. Oh man, have I been waiting for this? I know, like a couple years ago, Apple did another Fraggle project. I liked it a little. It was fine. Didn't really capture me the way I wanted it to. I didn't go back and rewatch it thoroughly. I thought it was cool. But they did another one, Back to the Rock. It was 13 episode drops, I do believe, and oh man, it's fun. It is so good. You guys know, and if you don't, I am a big fan of the Jim Henson Company and everything they've done pretty much. They just make some amazing stuff. And in the past couple of years, a lot of those classic Jim Henson projects had some great debuts. Dark Crystal Age of Resistance was great and fun. There's been some really cool Sesame Street documentaries that were made. Some hiccups with the Muppets, and I think overall Muppets has been taking a weird turn, which I didn't like. But between all that, there was the Fraggles and Fraggle Rock, and I've always viewed Fraggle Rock and that entire series as just kind of like the middle child of the creations of Jim Henson. It's not actually the middle child because it came out later than some of them, but it's just there and kind of forgotten and is special to a few, but people are like, look at Sesame Street and Elmo and Rocco hate each other. Look at what Miss Piggy's doing over here with RuPaul. Those take the spotlight. But Fraggles has just been consistently pumping out good stuff, man. They're cool. I love the Fraggles. And Back to the Rock, it's cool. It's really fun. The updated camera work that we're getting for a show like this has just really shown you how far puppetry has evolved, because the camera is just so fluid and fun to see. Even the puppets themselves, they look updated and a little bit more sleek and just creative and a little more expressive, where sometimes the eyes can move a different way, or sometimes the facial expressions just to get a little bit more interesting. I think that's really cool, and it just adds so much to a fun show like this. Second off, I should say, this is not going to be for everyone. If you're going into this thinking it's going to be like the Muppets, it's not. This is very much about learning lessons and about having fun while you're doing it. It's an adventure show in a sense, but it's just, a bunch of goofy kids hanging out and having a good time, and that's just exactly what it needs to be. Every character feels like their authentic 80s self, but a little bit more updated. I think the biggest example of updating is Moki, just because she's still there. She's still that Moki, but she's a little more zen and calm in terms of just how she presents herself. Very much that, just calm down, take a breath, let's chill. Deep ins, deeps outs, let's go, baby. And she has her hair done up. It's not like a mess anymore. Just has it up. And that to me is a really cool thing to see. Gobo is still Gobo, Wembley is still Wembley, Red is still Red, Boober is still Boober, but the jokes just are more modern, and that could be offensive to some people for some reason, where they're like, oh, this doesn't work, this isn't what I remember from the 80s. No, it's not. They're doing jokes that work for this decade, that work for this audience, that work for the people that are making the show now and grew up on the other one, where it's like, this is the humor we're doing. Does every joke land? No, not often. Sometimes there's a few misses, but overall, it's a fun show. It's light, it's bright, it is colorful, it is entertaining, and it kept a smile on my face when I'm watching it, because I'm like, this is the characters, and all the updated music and all the updated talent and technology makes it special. The small uses when there is CG, noticeable because they are different than puppets, but doesn't look bad. Not as bad as other stuff we've seen from this type of stuff, so I do like that a lot. And all of the classic beats are there. Sure, Doc's different, but Sprocket's there. Doc still exists in this universe. The Gourds are still there. The Trash Heap is still there. Every character is still there. Cotterpin's there. The Doozers are there. Everybody is here having fun and doing cool stuff in the Fraggle Rock world. So I do have to commend the show for doing that, because it works. And even though some jokes don't always land perfectly, it's quintessentially Fraggles, and that to me is a really positive thing to see. There's a lot of good stuff in this, and if you are a fan of classic Fraggles, it's there. It's literally the similar beats, but it's just modern, it's just new, and that works really well for people who don't have that nostalgia thing blocking them from enjoying a new thing. Back to the Rock is just we're going back. It's like if we just took them from that time period, dropped them in here now, they'd be more modernized, they'd have new understandings of the world, and it works really well. Right up there with the updated theme song, it works fine, it sounds good, it's very entertaining, and as somebody who's a massive Fraggle fan, I have no reservations or no hesitations when it comes to anything this show made. Is it perfect? No, it's kind of janky at times, is a way to put it, but everything about it just invoked that Fraggle feel, and I just cannot believe how far we've come with puppetry. It doesn't feel like we've made huge leaps in the advancements, but the way we can shoot these things, the way we can tell stories that are nuanced and not just, Muppets Now where we're looking into a camera being dumb. It's impressive. It's interesting. And I'm just super impressed with it. This really reminded me of the Snoopy Show, which was another thing on Apple TV. The Snoopy Show was just, here's Snoopy having fun and adventures, just being cute, friendly, and cuddly. That's what this was. It's cute, it's friendly, it's fun. You are going to like the Fraggles again. And if you have never experienced the Fraggles as a whole, I think this show is a great place to start because you understand the world perfectly. They're not as zany as the Muppets at times. They're not as, like lessons learned as Sesame Street. They're beautifully in the middle where it's just like, we'll learn our lesson, we'll still do the weird thing, and we'll somehow be obsessed with ironing and cleaning, which is really cool and funny. I just really adore this show. Really like what they did here, and I think it's really cool. It's filmed in a city near me. It's filmed in Calgary. They shot a bunch of the stuff. They did a lot of the stuff in Calgary. That's very cool. And that just, makes me a little more excited to see properties like this re-get that vitalization because Fraggles is fun, it's interesting, and going back to The Rock can never be a bad thing. It's only going to be cute, fun, and interesting. So I recommend watching it. If you don't like it, I get it, but those of you who can see this and see the beauty and the fun colors that it brings to screen, you're going to enjoy it a lot. This is perfect Fraggles fun, perfect entertainment for young ones, old ones, anybody who just wants some good enjoy in their life, just to take their cares away and have worries for another day. That's the Fraggles, buddy. That's what you're going to get from this show. So Fraggle Rock, back to the rock. I am going to give an 8 out of 10. And thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.